everybody, and welcome to another Doctor Who review. This time, I'm reviewing a story from the first series of this Doctor. So, here we go, Amy's Choice, the 7th episode of the 5th revived series of Doctor Who. Now, going forward, just a wee disclaimer for you guys, I'm not doing any plot synopsis of the stories of the revived era. It's only going to be the classic stories I do a plot synopsis for. So let's go straight into it by discussing a little bit about the plot itself. Just a wee summary from my point of view. It's not an official plot synopsis or anything like that. So, basic story is 2 different worlds, both of them possibly dreams. One in Upper Ledworth about 5 years after Rory and Amy left the TARDIS, and the TARDIS itself, present day, in their relative time frames. Along comes a entity called the Dream Lord, who gets them to decide to choose between the 2 entities, which one's real, which one is not. Both of them have dangers within them. In the TARDIS, it's all the power's gone and it's flying towards a cold star, and the TARDIS is getting steadily colder. And in Upper Ledworth, all the old people have been taken over by a monster called I think it's called the Echo-9. I think they call it. Is it the Echo-9 for my notes? Yes. Oh no, Echnodyne. Echnodyne, that's what it is. I've got my notes here. It's not really looking that well, is it? Echnodyne. So these are creatures that are living within old people, and they make them live a lot longer. And that's the fate. And if they hit you with the venom, you disintegrate into sand. And that is the basis plot of it. So overall, it's a decent enough story, I suppose, but let's go into the characters and the plot lines just a little bit and just go into each of the main characters. Now, there's only really 4 main characters in this one. There's a few minor roles. You have, of course, the Doctor, played by Matt Smith, who seems to be right in his role by now. That kind of kooky, zany 11th Doctor that we all know from the early era is definitely present here. We have Amy Pond, played by Karen Gillan. She's getting better, but there's still something slightly grating of Amy at times. This kind of arrogant, I'm in charge, you do what I say sort of attitude that she has. It's obviously underlining a lot of insecurities, but it's the fact that we are developing a bit more the relationship between her and Rory now in here. And then we've got Rory of Kells, played by Arthur Darvill, that never puts a foot wrong with the characterisation. And it is the first time that Rory dies, if I remember correctly, and it sets a trend for the next season and a half of Doctor Who. But yes, this is the first time Rory dies. And the guest character, the main guest character, Toby Jones, as the Dream Lord, who happens to be, and spoilers of course, who happens to be the darker manifestations of the Doctor's imagination, because the Dream Lord isn't really real. But overall, yeah, Arthur Darvill nails it as Rory, and Toby Jones is very good as the Dream Lord, very, very scheming, but he's good at these sort of scheming roles. I've noticed that in other things. He's very good in the Captain America series as the German scientist that ends up in the computer in the second one. He's good at these kind of scheming roles, although it's very rare to see him in a kind of English-speaking role. He likes doing his foreign roles at the moment. But it's very good to see him in here. Great role. You can see the darker side of the Doctor projected through the Dream Lord, and I love the fact he berates the Doctor at one point by saying that you're full of tawdry quirks. You're so many tawdry quirks. You could open up a tawdry quirk shop. Now, if that's misquoted slightly, my apologies here. We've got a couple of minor roles of some of the old people there. We've got Mrs. Poggett, played by Audrey Ardington. Doesn't have any speaking role, but she's basically probably the most prominent of the Echnodyne taking over old people that you see. Then you've got Mr. Nairnby, who tries to strangle Rory, and then you've got Mrs. Hamill as well. So yeah, they're okay, but they're supporting characters. They are basically part of the monster. They don't really have much of a plot line there. And it really does revolve the 4 of them. The dynamic's quite good. It's nice to see a development between the 3 of them, and the fact the Doctor actually does like them all and wants them to be part of his life, because the impression you get is he's kind of thinks Rory's a slight sideline at times. But not in this case. He does seem to work well, and I do like it. One thing I did notice production-wise, and it has been picked up, and I realise that now, in Upper Ledworth, the Doctor is wearing his teal variation of his costume, yes, the teal shirt, but in the TARDIS, he's wearing his maroon one. So that kind of helps with the kind of, and it's something you don't really see. It's quite subtle between the two different situations. I mean, the TARDIS is rather dark, Ledward's quite bright and, well, dull, but it's in daylight and outside, and those two kind of variations you see there, and it kind of helps with the story. This is the first and only story so far that's been written by Simon Nye. He's very well known for writing comedy, as much as anything else. He's best known for being the creator of Men Behaving Badly and writing quite a few episodes of that series. And then it's been directed by Catherine Morshead. Very standard fare. I'm not seeing any really big flair here. Do I get the feeling this is maybe the filler episode of Series 5? Possibly, I don't know. It's not one of the best ones in the world, I don't think. It's not one of my favourites, really. The music's by Murray Gold. The I Am the Doctor theme is one of the most prominent leitmotifs here. It's pretty atmospheric apart from that. It's very, very muted Murray Gold at this point. It's not that bombastic. It's not like his later stuff in the Capaldi's era where it's very bombastic a lot of the time. But overall, it plods along okay. It's a standard story. I like the concept of the fact you're trying to figure out which world is real and which world is not. As it turns out, neither of them are. It's a space pollen that's got lodged in the Doctor's psyche that's caused the problem in the first place. But to be fair, it's okay. You can watch it, but it is kind of take your brain out fodder and you watch it that way. So in that respect, I enjoy it. It's good concepts and it's good production values in that respect. It still stands up nearly 10 years later as a story itself. And for that and only that, I would put the rating of this story as 3.5 TARDISes out of 5. Now let's see how that stacks up against every other story I've reviewed so far in this series. Amy's Choice is down the bottom of the table due to the nature of these things. 3.5 TARDISes puts it above the Idiot's Lantern, but it shares good company with the Aztecs, the Leisure Hive, Vengeance on Varos, and the War Machines. At the top, still, is 4 stories that have 4.5 TARDISes out of 5. The Happiness Patrol, Inferno, The Day of the Doctor, and Caves of Androzani. That's it for now. Thank you very much, guys, for watching, as always. If you like what you see, don't forget to go down below and comment and tell me what you think about Amy's Choice. Do you like it? Do you not? What are the flaws? What are the not? What have I missed? I know it's quite a short review for my purposes, but they're really, you know, there's some stories I really can't really say much about, but I do intend to try and review every single Doctor Who story I can, including the ones that are missing if I can. So there'll be a lot of that coming forward. But yes, tell me what you think of this story. Give me your comments down below. If you like this series and you like this channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notifications bell so you know when a new video comes out. A new video usually comes out on Sunday, 4 PM GMT, but there are other videos coming out throughout the weeks as well, so keep an eye on the channel so you know when it's happening. And if you do share this video, don't forget to go and share it with the hashtag teamstructor. It all helps towards promotion of the channel. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. Next week we have a Kidstructor, and I hope to join you then. Until next time, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.